How do you turn an old, worn-out suspension into something like this? Nice and clean and ready for the road? Well, with a rough country leveling kit, of course. That's what we're going to be putting into the Gen 2 Dodge today. So if you like what you see, stick around. We'll see how we did it. What we're going to do, we've got a little rough country kit that's going to bring it up 3 inches. I believe it's 3 inches in the front, 2.5 in the back, just a leveling kit. So that's the next step that we're going to do. And for now, run these tires. I have been driving it, feels good. Like I say, it's just the rubbing issue that's bothering me now, so we're going to take care of that. It did in fact rub here a little bit, so I just took a little notch out on the front and that cleared up that portion. It does clear it, however in the back it does rub, right in that area somewhere on the tire. So when you turn sharp, you can hear it rubbing. Alright, before we get started here, I just want to take a measurement of what we currently have. From tire, the fender is 7 inches. These tires sit about 32 inches tall. So overall we're at about 39 inches where we're sitting from ground to the bottom of the fender. Other side, yeah, we might be just a little bit shy of 32. From the tire to the fender, yeah, we got a 6.5. So we're a 1/2 inch shorter on the driver's side than it was on the passenger. Rear tire, again about 31 3/4 if you want to be specific, maybe 32. Good 8.5, maybe a little shy. From the top of the tire to the fender, press down and we get that 8.5. About 9 inches, a little over 9 inches on this side. So passenger side is sitting up about a 1/2 inch higher than the driver's side overall. Let's see how this lift turns out. And I do have it off the jack stand, so it's free. I just got it set up ready to go. Let's see how this lift, I'll change it. The kit is advertised as a 2.5 inch leveling kit. I believe that's the complete part number there. The front spacing blocks do give you, comes out to 2.5 inches in the front, and then the rear is 2 inches, which goes under the leaf spring. So pretty straightforward kit. I have used one of these before, so I purchased another one. So it seems like pretty good quality. It's not a high-end lift. It's only 2.5 inches for the lift. It's just a leveling kit, but it does make a difference enough for what we're doing with just putting a little bit of oversized tires on there to just give that extra clearance in an economical package if you don't want to break the bank and buying a lift kit. So let's get this thing put on and see how it works. Squeaky. How many times is that wheel gonna fall off on me today? Before I decide to find a C-clip that needs to hold it on there. Alright, got the jack stands up on the frame. Wheels are off the ground. We are gonna have to get a jack under the pumpkin so that we can driving by. Get the jack under the pumpkin, that we can control the front end, lifting it up and down to get those coils in. Alright, got the shock tower off. The bolt is loose on the top shock. The bottom is not. But we should be able to... Alright, we didn't quite get finished up yesterday, but we started on the passenger side here. I'm sorry, the driver's side. We got the shock tower off over here as well. I did drop the axle down, so the shock tower, the shock coil spring is loose. This is the retainer that you can dispose of. The new bolts will take its place. I just got this shock out of here, and that was a little bit of a bugger just because the rubber, it can be loose in there, but it doesn't want to come out. So I found the easiest way is to try to get a punch or a chisel or something from the bottom and push it up out of there, out of its socket, and she'll come out. So I'm gonna pull this out from the top. Alright, so the shock is out. Now this can come out. And the coil. Now all I gotta do is slip that, oh, it's right here, in there. Now I got the bolts in there, I gotta take them back out, get it in there, and then put the bolts in and just lock her down, and then we can bring the axle back up to it to put tension back on the coil. Okay, so we got the driver's side to drop. Passenger side has not dropped, and we're lowering the jack. It's off the pumpkin, and that side still has not dropped, so there's something binding up in that coil up there, I think. So I'm going to tap on those screws on the top, see if we can get that to break loose and drop down. What I'm going to do is just clean up a little bit, some of that crud out of there, clean it up, shoot a little pss down there just to make it pretty. This inner fender well, for some reason, is faded and the other one isn't. Maybe it was wrecked or replaced. Maybe that's why that fender is rusting over on that side too, is because it was a replacement aftermarket one. That could be. In any case. Alright, so we got the front spacer in on the passenger side. Got the bolts just snugged up. I'm going to have to take them back off to put the shock in later, but I just want to hold this out of place, out of the way, while we put the spring in. Did a little bit of cleanup in here last night. And so we got this rubber that's got to go on there too. There. And what I'm using is a bottle jack back here, just to separate the frame from the shock mount. It's just about an inch off or so. Well, actually about that much is how much I needed to bring it. And yeah, I put a little bling bling in too. So hopefully we can squeeze this in here now. Maybe my bottle jack will go a little bit more. Got a little bottle jack between the differential in the frame. There. Sneak that right in. Alright, so we got that in there now. If we can let this down easily without getting anybody's fingers in there. Okay, so as you can see, I pulled the bottle jack out. We've got the spring in there. The weight of the axle is still hanging, and the spring is just loose enough to turn it. So, but in order to get that spring in there past the lip, you got to get it either pushed down or get a jack or something to give you a little bit more room just to get that spring in there. But she's in there, and we just got to put the shock in, put the cap on, bolt everything in. Got the shock coming up from the bottom. Just got to remove these nuts. Oh, I dropped one of the washers on the ground. Hold on. Don't worry, we found it. Alright, so there's a little strap here. We're going to cut that. What's going to happen is this shock is going to start to extend. I don't know how fast that's going to extend, but there's a little plastic retainer there and a bolt on top of it, which I don't know how far that's screwed down, but I would like to get that off there and then get the bottom rubber bushing on there before it extends up into the shock tower. So, here we go. Oh, it's not going down. It's not the right one. Oh, stop. Son of a biscuit. Okay, that's not working. Okay, that didn't work as planned. I was afraid of that. Alright, so make sure you got the right washer with the right size diameter. Bottom one, it is bigger. So we're going to try to push this back down. There we go. Come on, there we go. You gotta be kidding me. The struggle is real sometimes. The struggle is real. Smaller washer. park to spec and move to the other side. Here's the driver's side. Slips right in there. No bottle jack, no spring compressor, no nothing. We just gotta get that jack over here now, bring that back up. Don't drop this one. Or this one. Or that one. Alright, I'm going to try this a second time. This time I checked, got the right washer. And here we no, just about had it. A little better. Alright, so we got everything buttoned up. Shocks in. Double checked all of the torque specs. Bottom bolt of the shock. Top bolt of the shock. Shock tower bolts. How about that one? What do you think? What do you think? But yeah, I think we're good to go. Shock tower in, that one, and on this side also. Time to just put the tires on. Let's play What's It Weigh? Alright, as you can see, we got the Rough Country suspension kit in up front. 20-inch tires, mounted and balanced. And I think it just changed the look of the Gen 2 Dodge. I did not put the suspension in the back because there was already lifting blocks back there. And when I measured it out, we got a 9, just about 9.5, just like before. Now we're not sitting on exactly level ground here, but the suspension in the front previously was at 7, so we're at 9.5. So it did bring it up to 2.5 inches. Again, we're not sitting on level, but with that being said, I don't think it's necessary to put anything in the back at this point. I am considering putting some bags in the back, so I'm just going to hold off on that for now. And that was never the issue. The issue of putting the suspension kit in, the 2.5 inch leveling kit, was to clear these tires. And right there, we're clearing it. But with any bump, it's going to rub. Just barely. I can live with that. I've even went so far as to changing out these screws, which were self-tappers and had a hex head on it. So I get something a little bit low profile just to give that a little bit of extra on there. But all in all, I think it turned out pretty good. We're gonna try it out and just see how everything works together, including the wheels, the wheel spacers I put in, the suspension. Oh, we're rubbing right there. Sharp right, we rub a little bit. You gotta put it to the test. Oh, GoPro. Still ticking. See you on the next one, guys.